Guys, Jackie M, how you doing? Welcome back to Masters of Malaysian Cuisine, and this is our regular slot for our Wednesday Masak Apa Tak Jadi Hari Ini collaborative live cooking videos. And we have Paul Gray, our co-founder of Masters of Malaysian Cuisine, and he is based in South Africa. And usually Paul actually cooks outside of this particular time slot, but we thought we'll upgrade him to our MOMC MATJHN time slot today. But anyway, guys, make sure you say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. And don't forget to share this out to all your friends and all your Facebook groups of people who might be interested in cooking, and say hello and do a hashtag live watching this live and hashtag replay if you're watching a replay. Again, my name is Jackie M and I'm from Masters of Malaysian Cuisine with Paul Gray, our co-founder here. And he's going to be attempting a recipe called Mi Bandung. Mi Bandung, actually, I'm being a little bit cheeky. This is, in fact, Norman Moose's recipe from Series 1 of MOMC. If you have a copy of our e-magazine from Series 1, it's actually called Mi Rebus there. But I know Mi Rebus is a little bit tricky, but we're going to elaborate on that a little bit during our cooking session. But in the meantime, like I said, say hello, let us know where you're watching from, and we're just going to play a quick clip from Tourism Malaysia. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Okay, welcome back, and Jackie M again from Masters of Malaysian Cuisine. And if you don't recognize it, it's because I had a haircut. Okay, the whole lockdown hair thing over the last, how long has it been, Paul?
8 months.
8 months. I didn't cut my hair for 8 months, but this is my usual hair. If anyone's followed me for longer than 8 months, they'll know that for probably the last decade, my hair has been this short. But anyway, welcome, Paul. How you doing?
Good. Looking forward to this recipe.
Okay, like I said, Paul is going to be cooking something called Mi Bandung, and he has no idea what's in store for him. He's bought all the ingredients.
I don't even know what kind of a dish it is.
He has no idea. I just kind of threw it at him because he was asking for suggestions on what to cook. And I thought, oh, look, he's done all the, all the Chinese Malaysian dishes, all the, all the curries and all that sort of stuff. And we thought we'd kind of, do something a little bit different today. But anyway, hello to Master Chef Malaysia judge Johari Edros. Johari says, hi, Paul and Jackie, watching live from KL. Yay, Chef Joe. We have
Chef
Marla
Joe.
live from Sydney saying, hi, Jackie and Paul. We have Annie watching from the UK live. And guys, again, don't forget to say hello and hit us up if you've got any questions in the meantime as well. And if this is your first time tuning in, like I said, Paul Gray is based in South Africa. Never really known anything about Malaysian food prior to meeting me, basically. But all right, Mi Bandung, like I said, this is actually the same recipe that Norman Moose supplied for Series 1 of MOMC, where he called it Mi Rebus. Okay, in his part of Malaysia, it's called Mi Rebus. In my part of Malaysia, Mi Rebus means something else. Okay, in my part of Malaysia, this is called Mi Bandung. And I know Mi Bandung. Bandung is a place in Indonesia, but the word Bandung does not actually relate to that place in Indonesia. Okay, it means something else in the context of this particular dish. But yeah, you can Google what Bandung actually means. Okay, apart from a place in Indonesia. But so. We don't want any angry Indonesians claiming we stole this dish from them. This is actually a Malaysian recipe. But mi means noodles in Malaysia, and he's using beef. Paul, can you tell us quickly what sort of ingredients you're using today?
Okay, cool. So today we're using actually chuck again, like we did last week.
Okay.
I'm just going to chop it up just before we chuck it in because the water's already coming to the boil. Then we got this red chili paste. It's supposed to sort of be a sambal of some sorts.
Okay.
Trying to think what's in it. It has chili, garlic, ginger, vinegar, and an acidity regulator. Who knew?
Okay, so that's just kind of like a basic chili relish. Okay.
Pak choy.
Okay. And hello,
Onion.
Yuho. Great to have you joining us from Melbourne. Onion. Yep. Okay.
Egg noodles.
Cool.
Fried, well, crispy onion sprinkle. So
Sure.
basically fried shallot.
Sure.
Garlic, ginger, bean sprouts.
That's not a lot of these. Yeah. Okay. But sure. That's not a lot of bean sprouts, by the way.
I've
Chili.
got another one in the fridge as well.
Okay. Sure. It's a lot of packaging for a
chilies.
small amount of bean sprouts. No offense.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've already eaten half.
Okay. Sure. Sure.
Spring onions. And then I just fried up some peanuts before we started. And then because I can't get dried shrimp, we're using balachan instead.
Okay.
And yeah, that's basically. Oh, and I almost forgot tomato puree.
Okay. Cool. Cool. So there you go.
Yeah.
So these are the ingredients. And by the way, guys, if you followed Paul cooking, you know that he's sugar-free. This recipe, the original recipe from Norman, does actually call for a little bit of sugar in it, but I'm assuming he's going to leave it out. And the other thing is, in Norman's recipe, he calls for Paul's using that chili condiment. In what Norman's original recipe would have called for is some kind of like a sambal that you can add to your dish. Okay, so if you can get a sambal that has all the fancy Malaysian stuff like the garlic and the onion and the sugar and the maybe a bit of a tamarind or something like that, that's what you actually want. But you know, he does live in South Africa and also in a part of South Africa where he doesn't have easy access to Asian ingredients. So it is what it is. Okay, we're gonna do our best. Hey, Sandy, curious your version of mee rebus. Yeah, I know. Me too. Like
I'm also curious. Don't you worry, that makes three of us.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it sounds. And the other thing that Norman's recipe does call for actually is dried shrimp. And as far as I know, well, according to Liam, who is not with us today, because Liam is actually in the process of moving house, by the way, guys. If you've caught Paul and Liam, they usually cook together in cook-along format. And Liam's been busy the last couple of weeks because he is moving house. So he will be back with us for our next series coming up starting next week, actually. But in any case, yeah. So Paul's, Paul and Liam can't get a hold of dried shrimp where they are. So in this particular recipe, in lieu of dried shrimp, because it actually goes into the frying sambal base, he's going to use belacan instead. Okay, so to me, it kind of like at least gives it the same kind of shrimpy vibe. The bean sprouts, if you keep it more, it will be nicer. Hi from Semenya. Hey, how you doing? And by the way, guys, a special welcome to our viewers from Masa Apa Tak Jadi hari ini. Apa khabar semua ya? Hari ini kita ada Paul Gray dari Afrika Selatan. Dia akan membuat demo masak mie Bandung. Sebenarnya dalam resepi Norman Musa panggil ini mie rebus, tapi di kawasan saya di Malaysia, kita panggil ni mie Bandung. So I've decided to call this mie Bandung instead of mie rebus, okay? Because when you call it mie rebus, the Malaysians from my part of Malaysia will get a little bit annoyed. The Opens in Bristol. Yay, Zaleha, how you doing?
Hey, Zaleha.
And hello from Frankfurt. Hey, Lisa, how you doing? Lisa, we are looking forward to having you. Lisa is going to be cooking for us. Yeah, guten Tag. Lisa and also Chef Ismail from Malaysia is going to be cooking for us this time next week as well. So we're excited to have Chef Ismail with us. But yeah, so first of all, Paul is just dicing up the beef. And yeah, but if you're from Malaysia or you've had mee rebus in Malaysia, I'd love to hear your comments about what your version of mee rebus is, because I grew up in Seremban, and in fact, the version of mee rebus I grew up with never had any beef in it. I've always found it really interesting that all the other versions of mee rebus I've ever come across since coming to Australia have actually contained beef, okay? But yeah, the version that I used to buy from the mama across the road from my parents' stall in Seremban never had any beef in it. Okay, so yeah, so let me know what version you grew up with. Okay, hi from UK Perdana, Malaysia. My favorite mi Bandung. Yay! Awesome, cool. So
if you can't see, that's the beef going into water with some salt.
Okay, so essentially what you're going to be doing is just simmering the beef for, according to Norman's recipe, for half an hour. We might not, yeah, we'll see how we go with time, to basically soften it, okay? And then we're going to use the stock to add to the sauce, and he's going to separately boil the noodles. But the sauce is going to be made up of this combination of spices, which include onion and garlic and supposed to be dried shrimp, but we're using belacan, and also tomato puree. So yeah, you can just kind of visualize how it's going to turn out, okay?
So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to chop everything up, and then once I've done that, then I'm going to chuck the noodles in.
Okay.
Get the noodles out, then introduce the sauce, and then I'm going to take the beef off if it isn't
sure.
by then in any case.
Are you going to have a boiled egg? By the way, guys, if you this is the recipe from Norman Musa. I'm just going to hold it up on screen. So you've got the eggs. You're going to boil it. This is what it looks like. Okay.
It looks what mine's going to look like.
All right. And he's got the baby bok choy there.
Check out those bad boys. I must say, I'm a fan of. Yeah, go ahead.
And you've got peanuts that you're going to that you've already roasted and you're going to crush. And I noticed your peanuts actually have the shell on. Is that right?
Okay. I'm too lazy to take them off.
yeah. Typically, it's quite interesting because I was actually just doing a masterclass for my online cooking students here yesterday, and
I remember.
And I actually couldn't find any peanuts with the shell on in my part of Sydney, so I had to get ones with the shell off. And ironically, for this particular recipe, Paul actually needs to have the shell off, and he's actually got the ones with the shell on. So
Life.
Yep. And you've got a whole onion, right, Paul?
Well, I've got a half because it's a really big onion, and I thought a whole one might be a bit much.
No,
unless you think
never have
too.
Never have too many onions. Too much onion.
What about this bad boy then? Check out the size of that one.
Okay, that's all right.
Cricket balls would be jealous of this.
Okay.
So
Paul, as usual, is cooking lunch for himself and for his dad. And like I said, guys, don't forget to say hello and let us know where you're watching from. We'd love to see the international.
And I wanted to show off today, but I forgot that we were on the MATJHN broadcast because I was going to be like, Apu kabar semua, and then.
Apa khabar semua? Lisa says, the way I make mee rebus uses sweet potatoes to thicken, fermented beans, peanuts to make the gravy, beef broth, ikan bilis, and udang grago. Oh, right, interesting. Yeah, see, my
that I can't get.
My one does not have beef broth, and it's interesting. You've got ikan bilis and udang grago. What's udang grago?
Just about
Is that the dried shrimp or fermented beans, peanuts? Okay, that's interesting. Like I said, the version I grew up having was actually vegetarian, interestingly enough, but I haven't actually seen. And the funny thing is, the mamak that I bought the mee rebus from was not vegetarian per se, but for whatever reason, his version was vegetarian. So that was my that was my idea of mee rebus growing up. That it should be yellow and it should be vegetarian. Strange. It is the tiny, thin, dried shrimps. Okay, cool. Okay, interesting.
Okay. What is Seremban's sort of vibe when it comes to food? Like, what are they particularly known for? What do they sort of more go towards Malay, or is it more Chinese street hawkers?
It's interesting you should ask that, like, because I'm Chinese, and it's funny today. I was talking to Chef Ismail. He thought I was Chindian. I'm so dark as a Chinese person. He thought I was half Indian. No, I'm not. I'm pure. I'm half Chinese. But yeah, in my like Malaysia is quite very very like multi-ethnic, and by and large, our kind of like experience of the food of our part of Malaysia is dependent on what your ethnicity is, right? So I grew up in Seremban, and I always tell people Seremban's really known for two things. One is the Seremban siu pao, and the other, which is the baked chicken buns. And the other is beef noodles, Seremban beef noodles, which I actually taught my masterclass students how to make yesterday. But there was one time, many, many years after moving overseas, I went back to Seremban and I booked it myself into a hotel room. And all I wanted was the famous Seremban beef noodles. And I went to reception and I asked a non-Chinese receptionist, oh, where's that, where did the Seremban beef noodle place move to? Because I heard they actually expanded to some place else that was closer to the hotel, you see? And they had no idea what I was talking about. So it goes to show, like, if you were born and raised in Seremban, but you weren't Chinese, you may not have ever come across Seremban beef noodles. It's really, really interesting. And also my part of Malaysia, Seremban, is in the state of Negeri Sembilan, which actually is basically founded by Indonesian migrants from the Minangkabau ethnicity, right? Yeah. And their food is very uniquely spicy, fiery, hot. They use a lot of bird's eye chilies, right? But you know what? As a Chinese growing up in Seremban, I barely experienced any Minangkabau. To me, they were all Malay food. I didn't think, oh, that's like Minangkabau food versus like KL Malay food. To me, they were all just Malay food. So it's a little bit of a shame. But yeah, that's how it kind of like works out. Samara says, good day, Jackie. It's 3 a.m. in San Francisco. Growing up in Muar, Mi Bandung is very different from Mi Rebus. It's in the gravy. My brother's restaurant in Muar is known for this Mi Bandung. So you make it to Muar, do visit Ogi's restaurant and have a bowl. I absolutely will, Samara. Johor, Muar is famous for its food. I know that because I used to promote food for the Ministry of Agriculture here in Sydney, and there were a lot of products that were actually from Johor in Malaysia. And also when I was filming in Malaysia, I actually traveled through Johor, and I was just completely blown away by the amazing food in Johor. Every time people talk about Malaysia and its amazing food, they think of Penang, right? And sometimes they think of Kuala Lumpur, and sometimes they think of Malacca. And if you live in the West, you'll know that Malacca does not really quite get the exposure it, I think, deserves. Okay, it's all Penang everywhere. But like other parts of Malaysia, like Johor and Kelantan and even Seremban, have beautiful food that people really should, I think, have the benefit of learning about. Udang geragau is the one that used to be the main ingredient to make the belacan paste. Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, very cool. Nice.
That's cool.
Mala, the only version Mi Rebus that I paid for in Singapore from a Malay stall was vegetarian and yum. Oh, well, there you go. Sorry, Paul, yeah, go on.
Well, I was going to say there's three things I want to talk about. Is like, firstly, before I knew much about Malaysia, I'd actually heard of Malacca before and their cuisine. Strange enough.
How interesting. How did that happen?
I honestly can't remember. I think maybe there was just like one of the travel shows in South Africa or something spoke about it. So I was just like, oh, this is interesting.
Oh, how cool is that?
So yeah, like I knew about them, and then obviously everyone knows Kuala Lumpur. I mean, it's a cosmopolitan city. Yeah. Then I was going to say, it's funny how your youth sort of shapes you into how you see things. Like you're talking about, growing up in Seremban and being Chinese is, you don't experience a lot of things, or you do experience a lot of things that other people don't. And then when you grow up and you start to see like how other people go about things, it's funny how you come across these things and what you thought was an accepted, other people have never experienced this.
Yeah.
So,
big time.
It is interesting. And then the third thing was, what was the last comment we just got?
We were talking about different parts of Malaysia, how like they don't get enough exposure.
Might not have been that.
Whatever. We'll come back to him. We'll come back to him.
Let's get
Are you actually? Where does the spring onion go? I think it goes as a garnish. I'm a little bit concerned.
It's going for a garnish.
You're not using a separate cutting board for that, but you're eating it anyway.
Yeah, actually, I have no clue why I'm actually using that cutting board. I wasn't even using it originally.
Okay.
And then somehow, I know why.
Annie says the same thing. Okay.
I know why this cutting board is out. Because I was busy eating a snack off of it before we started.
You dork. See, Annie, thank you, Annie. Annie and Mala have validated my my impression of mee rebus. I thought I was the only person in Malaysia who still knew of mee rebus as something without meat. Annie says, same here. The mee rebus I grew up eating in KL had no meat. There you go, right? Hey, Sebastian, how kind of knife do you use? Paul Sebastian wants to know. And by the way, guys, if you actually tried to catch Sebastian's broadcast yesterday based on the link I sent via email, that's a fancy knife. That's a fancier knife than Sebastian and I use.
This is what is it now? It's basically like a no-name brand. I think it's from like one of the supermarkets. But and it's not even ours. I think we got it from a family friend or whatever. Like they didn't use it anymore. And
right.
I just sharpened it once because I didn't use it. I just left it in the cupboard, and then one day I sharpened it and realized how good it was. So now it's actually replaced. I have two knives here. What knife is it I was looking for again? Oh no, this one's over here. This one is a.
Oh yeah, I've got one of those.
The other, and we actually got this for when you collect enough stickers at the one shop in a certain period of the year, you get it like really cheap. So we did that. And then my favorite knife, I think I've actually tucked it away. Let me just check if it's down here. Or it was my favorite knife, but then I went through. No, it's not in here. I think it's packed away. Was this knife that we bought at a food expo? It's a ceramic knife.
Oh, and, I've got one of those too.
Sure. I love ceramic. Like it just nothing cuts like it, and I know that because I've cut myself open with it.
Oh, nice. And by the way, guys, like I was saying, if you tried to catch Sebastian's broadcast yesterday, which I announced everywhere, I emailed everyone, I posted all over social media, we actually had a technical problem. I blame Apple, right? There's an Apple-free zone, by the way, guys, here, Jackie and Mr. There's an Apple-free zone, but we couldn't get it working on his device. So in the end, we just had to cancel that broadcast and do a new one using Zoom instead. So I have since uploaded a recording of that on our YouTube channel. So if you go to youtube.com/Masters of Malaysian Cuisine, you'll see a recording of Sebastian's broadcast from yesterday, okay? It's really nice to see the masters at work because Sebastian is really, really meticulous in how he approaches his cooking, and his food is always beautifully presented. And we have Rose Richard. Hey, Jackie M. Tang, sweetie, and Paul Gray. Hello, how you doing, Rose? Rose is watching from Sydney, Australia. And Sheila Amend, is that right? Hello from Frankfurt. Guten Tag, wie geht's? How are you?
I was going to say, I'm assuming. I was going to say, Guten Tag. What time is it now?
It's like about midday.
Oh, yeah, it is
Lisa Yo says, hi Sheila, we're watching together, okay? Oh, cool. All the German contingent joining us. So Lisa, of course, is based in, I believe, Frankfurt, right? So, and like I said, Lisa is going to be part of our MOMC at Heart family, and we're very, very excited to have her cook for us a little later this month. But she will be hosting Chef Ismail next week. So that'll be very, very exciting. And we have an amazing recipe from Chef Ismail for that session as well. And don't forget, guys, starting next Monday, it feels a little bit weird to me because we actually had a break this Monday. Every Monday, all of you who sign up to our mailing list get an email from me talking about MOMC Monday. We're going to have this, we're going to have that. And for the first time in a long while, we had a break this particular Monday because this month had like 5 Mondays, right? And MOMC, of course, runs 8 sessions per Monday sort of thing. So we actually had 1 Monday spare. We could have kind of like gone live anyway, but we thought, no, we'll just give everyone a break because we want to actually start off on, on a clean slate for the next series, which starts next Monday, and that's going to be the Queen series, okay? Her Majesty Queen Aziza of Malaysia has very kindly let us cook from her recipe books. So we're very excited about that, and we have some great guests lined up for that. We have, some very influential guests, but make sure you actually check out our schedule, which we're about to post very, very soon. Okay. So, Paul, what are you up to now?
Okay. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to put the egg noodles in.
Okay. Sure.
So let me just do that on the camera.
I like how he's using dried egg noodles, but in fact, Norman Moose's recipe called for dry egg noodles as well. But here in Sydney, we're very spoiled. We get fresh egg noodles everywhere. But
lucky buggers.
Cool. So you've got the eggs in the water boiling, cool, and you're just boiling the noodles as well.
Egg noodles. What can I say? Both need to boil.
Cool. Nice. So obviously, guys, if you're cooking this at home, you just follow the instructions on your packet of noodles, how to prepare them. And you're going to find, like I always assume being Asian, that we know what to do with our dry noodles. And there was one time I got caught out because I bought a different brand of rice noodles, dry rice noodles, and prepared it the way I usually would, and it didn't turn out. And it turned out the instructions were actually different. You're supposed to soak them in cold water first before you actually boil them, which I just soaked them in warm water and then boiled them, and they did not soften at all. It was ridiculous. It's really, really strange. But yeah, moral of the story, read the instructions before you actually prepare them. So Paul, you can get these noodles at your local supermarket.
Yeah, well, not your local supermarket, but a couple of supermarkets. So if you...
Yeah, you're back, Jackie. Hi, Paul. Hey, how are you? Mi Bandung ala terus lapar kan? This is Norman Moose's Mi Bandung, but he called it Mi Rebus. Like I said, like in his part of Malaysia, Norman, for those who don't know, is from Penang. And apparently in Penang, they call this Mi Rebus. But Mi Rebus to me should have the mashed sweet potato sauce, right? Like some of you were saying earlier, like Lisa was saying. So this is more like Mi Bandung. And Norman did say actually that other parts of Malaysia, they call this Mi Bandung. And then someone from Wah was saying, oh, Mi Bandung is a bit different in their part of Malaysia. So it's it just goes to show how diverse our cuisine is, That the same dish can go by a different name, or, something by the same name can mean different dishes in Malaysia.
Damn it, I've lost an egg. There it is.
There you go. And by the way, guys, just a heads up, we are actually in the process of migrating everyone, because you know how I always tell you guys to sign up malaysianchefs.com/join today, and you'll get access to all our recipes. You can obviously, that still holds, but right now, don't go and try and log into the members area, okay? Because for the next, right after Paul is done with this, he and I are going to work through migrating everyone to the new platform. All your content is there, all the recipes are there, and all the bonus videos and all that are there. But the login link at our website right now needs to be changed, okay? So don't stress out. By this time, by the time you wake up in the morning, it will all be up and working again, okay? But yeah,
everything's in place. We just need to figure out how to get you there.
Yeah, that's right. All your details have been stored. You haven't lost access. We just need to give you your new logins. Okay, so you should get an email from us overnight with all your new logins and whatever. I don't know whether we give you a password or whether we give you a link to reset your password, and it will log into a new membership area with all the recipes, all the e-magazines and stuff like that. Okay.
But it's fun to find out.
Yeah. Every time I know we
we're jumping around a bit.
Yeah, we've been jumping around a little bit with different systems because nothing is perfect. We were trying to find one that works for everyone, and so we've just migrated to a new system.
One that works well.
Yeah. But yeah, don't forget, sign up malaysianchefs.com/join today if you haven't already. Okay. And we will sort you out with your login.
Okay, time for the third cooking.
Okay.
Thingamajig.
Sure.
So, wok. Wait, where did I put the?
Okay, so I'm assuming that you're straining the noodles. Cool. Did you blanch the vegetables in there as well, or no?
No. Should I have?
Okay. I would have done so, but I don't think the recipe actually told you to do that, right?
It didn't call for blanching. Yeah. The thing is, it would have added a nice crunch. So.
Okay. The bean sprouts and the bok choy. What?
You know what I'll do? Maybe
Okay.
I could blanch in the beef.
Now I'm reading Norman's recipe here. It says to cook the bok choy and bean sprouts in the sauce later on, so you can do that. Yeah. It's up to you, whether you cook it.
I'll blanch it in the beef, because it's hot water in any case, so it'll do the trick.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Sure. Cool.
Okay, let's just write the recipe. So now what we're going to do, medium frying pan, oil, garlic, onion, and chili paste, puree, sugar, shrimps, and peanuts.
Sure. So you've got the garlic thinly sliced, the onion thinly sliced. I would have been compelled to actually mix them in a food processor, but we're following Norman's recipe here, so we won't mess around with it.
I was going to say, I don't want Norman to chase me.
Rose Richard says, when I do mee rebus, besides using sweet potatoes for thickening, we'll boil the head of shrimp for extra taste. That's a good idea. Yeah, I think so too. I would do that too. The whole beef in mee rebus thing is really jarring for me. But I could do prawns in mee rebus, okay?
I was going to say, I actually had some prawn heads in the fridge, but I don't know. I think I left them a little long.
That's all right, because you're making Norman's mee bandung. The beef will have enough flavor in the stock. That's only if you weren't using beef for the stock, Yeah. Rose is asking, Paul, how did you learn this mee rebus? You're more Malaysian now, it seems. He learned it right now. He learned it right now because he was going, Jackie, what should I cook? And I said, why don't you cook Norman's mee rebus, also known as mee bandung?
I was going to say, by the end of this year, I'll probably have cooked a bigger variety of Malaysian dishes than most Malaysians.
Yeah, I think so too.
The thing is, I've gone from Malay to Chinese. We haven't done Hainanese chicken. Yeah.
No, you haven't. Hainanese chicken will take time, so that's why you haven't done it. But yeah, you've done Indian because you've done mee goreng, right? Mee goreng is Indian mamak style. Yeah. Maybe we'll get him to do Indian think of an Indian Malaysian dish, guys.
Indian Malaysian dish. Well, we did the korma.
Korma is more Malay. Yeah.
Is it? Okay, I thought it was just based on the Indian.
Bandung dalam bahasa Melayu maksudnya campur atau gabung, tak ada kaitan dengan kota Bandung. Exactly, that's what I said. Yeah. Norman didn't want to call it. The word Bandung in this dish does not refer to Bandung in Indonesia. It means the Malay word for to mix or to combine. You see, because So that's what mee bandung actually means. But when Norman published this recipe, he didn't want to create any controversy with Indonesians complaining about us stealing their country's cuisines. So he stuck with mie rebus, which is what they know it as in Penang. Haslina live from Shah Alam. Hey, apa kabar? Yay. Oh, guys, shout out to Haslina. She helps us with the recipes for MATJHN. So all the recipes that we do in Masak Apa Tak Jadi Hari Ini, the chefs supply them, and they are turned into PDFs for you to download from the members area. And Haslina has been a great help in formatting them and setting it, formatting it for us to upload. Haslina and also Zaleha Olpin's daughter Aiman have been helping us with those recipes, because I am already doing like so many things, and like graphic design and layouts not my favorite activity, so they've been doing that. Okay, so thank you so much, guys. So shout out to Haslina and shout out to Aiman of Aiman Olpin. Mala Indian Roja, I know, right? I love Indian Roja. Yeah, we should get him to do that.
Okay, I'm down.
Mie Bandung, I am impressed, Paul. Haslina's impressed with your attempting Mie Bandung. That is actually a lot of onion, come to think of it.
I told you. No, you can never have too much onion. I'm going to say
it wouldn't look good. No. You can never have too much onion. Though, like if I were to do it, instead of slicing it, I would have blended it into a paste, like a rempah.
Yeah. Actually, I think that would have worked out a little bit better.
Yeah. So yeah, sorry about that.
That's all good. That adds experience. You know, if you're not challenged by something, you're not doing it right.
Rose, we miss Liam. He's busy with his birthday. Yeah, Rose, he's busy with his birthday, but also more to the point, he's actually busy moving house. So if you guys follow Liam on social media, he's been building his dream house in this little village in South Africa, and it's coming to the point where he is finalizing everything. Okay, so that's the tomato puree that's gone into this, and the sambal. Okay, that might be a little. Okay, it'd be interesting to see how spicy that is actually.
I hope it's spicy.
Haslina's asking whether you've ditched Liam, Paul.
Liam's ditched us.
Yeah, he's ditched us. But Liam will be back. Liam, like I said, he's busy moving house and finalizing the house he's building. But Liam will be back to join us in this special marathon New Year's Eve Queen's series broadcast. Okay, so with the Queen series, we have actually got every Monday starting next Monday 2 sessions, but also we have an additional session on New Year's Eve, which is going to be a marathon session, and Chef Norman Musa is going to be cooking. Okay, is that tender yet, Paul?
Is it tender? Yeah, well, let's have a look. I was going to say, with the belacan, this is the first time I'm not putting belacan.
Oh, that's belacan. I thought that was beef. Sorry.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I was going to say, how does one put it into a dish?
Yeah, just throw it in now. Just throw it in and fry it up. Yeah.
Damn you.
So, like I say, guys, he's only using belacan because he doesn't have dried shrimp, okay? Norman's recipe actually called for dried shrimp.
Dried shrimp. I should actually just dry my own shrimp.
Haslina says, yes, Liam is very busy. I know he is excited, especially with his new kitchen. I know, right?
With such a nice kitchen, I'd also be. Have you seen that kitchen? Jeez. Yeah. I feel like we should create a TV show literally just because he has that kitchen.
Yeah. It's interesting because the sambal that Norman would have used for this, right? The pre-made sambal would actually contain sugar and maybe a little bit of tamarind, but this chili paste that Paul is using is just chili and garlic and vinegar. So it might actually end up tasting a bit sour, but without the sweetness, right? But Paul is anti-sugar. You want to put some of your, your xylitol in there?
Xylitol.
Yeah.
There's a time and a place for xylitol. I'd rather just not have sugar. The thing is, the onion should caramelize a little bit and have some sort of a sweetness.
Do you eat ketchup?
Yes.
Ketchup has sugar, Paul. So would you have an issue in like adding some ketchup in there?
No? Should I do it?
Yeah. See.
The thing is, I make sure I get the tomato paste. Oh, you said the tomato sauce where the sugar is low down as possible. Run it. See, I try. Should I add
I'm just trying to
more?
encourage him to eat sugar. Should you add tamarind? No, because it's got vinegar in it already, right? But did this recipe call for tamarind?
No, you just said that sambal.
Yeah. Okay. So really, the chili that Paul is using is kind of like sambal ole, as opposed to like the sambal that we use for our base. You could probably add a little bit of oil in there. You like sambal ole? Okay.
Yeah, we made it for, what were we cooking? Can't remember.
Cool.
Can't remember the dish, but it was good.
Okay, cool.
What are we missing? The peanuts.
Yeah, so you've crushed the peanuts?
I'm about to crush them.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, what will be the best thing to crush the peanuts in? How crushed do they need to be? Is it food processed too much?
Yeah, no, it'll be okay. I would have thought that you would need more peanuts. That's not a lot of peanuts. How much did it call for here?
Let me just check out. It was like 50 grams or 60 grams or something.
Okay. Oh, 50 grams.
50
yeah, just
grams.
a tiny bit, just to give it a bit of texture, really.
One last. There we go. I think that should be a good consistency. What do you think?
Cool.
Or should I a little bit more?
Maybe a little bit more.
Okay. Let me just give this a stir. You can smell the belacan.
Cool. That's a good thing. That will actually be what makes the difference in your dish. Otherwise, it's just like a glorified pasta. Am I right, guys?
Glorified pasta.
Right?
That's one way to put it. Okay. I must say, peanuts, or actually most nuts in dishes, like saucy dishes, always add something nice to it, even when they are like super.
Sure. Nina says hi from KL. Hi, Nina. Thanks for tuning in. And Rose is asking, Paul, do you take a lot of chili in your cooking? How far out are you in handling the taste?
I'm a 9 out of 10, I'd say.
There you go. He's probably better at it than your average Malaysian. Some of us Malaysians can be a little bit wimpish with the chili thing.
Liam. Because every time I tuck dry chilies in with the seeds in, he's like, that's going to burn you to death. And I'm like,
I'm pretty sure Norman is pretty weak with the chili thing as well. Hastina says there's so many variations of mee bandung. What I know of is mee Java, yes, contain crushed peanuts. Mee bandung would use pureed dried shrimps, and some would also have sweet potato puree in the gravy too, more like mee rebus, but still call it mee bandung. Well, everyone has a secret recipe passed down from generation to. That is so true, right, Hastina? I know everything just kind of like becomes this amorphous, like, cacophony. Sorry, Paul, what were you saying before?
No, I was actually saying that we should actually do that sometime. The trick is getting the spices or whatever, but do like a hot stuff challenge with all the Malaysian cuisine to see who can handle the most heat.
Yeah. But I think Malaysian food by and large is not as spicy as some Thai or some Indonesian. Yeah.
I will say that Thai people love their chili though.
Yeah. Rose says, I'm impressed, Paul. I'm proud of you. There you go. Thank you. Juliet Chung says, hi, Jackie and Paul. I love mee bandung from Sydney. Yay. Thanks for tuning in, Juliet.
Chances are I will too. Let's find out.
Nadia says more chili is always better until you get gastric. Yeah, that's true. Raw Chef Yin. Hey, how are you, Raw Chef Yin? Raw Chef Yin, guys, is going to be back as a host this time around for the Queen's series. Okay, so she will be hosting Vegan Chef Dave. So we're excited to have Raw Chef Yin back. We're very excited about the next series, actually. And
I'm curious to see the dishes she makes, because it really interests me how she does all these like raw vegan dishes, or interpretations thereof.
Yeah, right. I know.
Okay. How much? I read all of this is going in there, right?
Yeah. Or you can actually pour the sauce. Okay, yeah. Do it that way. Sure. Yeah. Either or.
Actually, I'm more of a fan of pouring liquidy into thick.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I thought too. Hey, Hamima. Yay, great to see you tune in, Hamima. How are you? Hamima, I'd love to know your take on mee bandung versus mee rebus. Okay, we're calling this mee bandung, even though this is actually Chef Norman Musa's recipe, and he calls it mee rebus because in his part of Malaysia they call it mee rebus.
Ostracized if he doesn't.
Okay. But this does not contain sweet potato, which is how to me, mee rebus actually is made from mashed sweet potato. So I'm calling it mee bandung, all right? And I'll sort it out with Norman later on.
Speaking of Norman and his recipes, isn't he launching the recipe calendar thing today?
Yeah. Guys, by the way, if you check out Chef Norman Musa's Facebook page, he actually has put out his own calendar. So head over there and grab yourself a copy. It's actually an e-calendar, okay? So you're not paying for shipping. You just download it and enjoy your pictures of Norman and pictures of his food and recipes as well, okay? Nina says, I put mashed sweet potatoes in my mee bandung and use prawn stock and a poached egg on top. That sounds really delicious. That sounds suspiciously like mee rebus as I know it. So it is very confusing.
Very much
it's
so.
Sweet potato. Okay, so this is boiling away.
What would you rather see, that, or would you rather see me peel an egg?
We can see
peeling
either. It doesn't matter. Yeah, sure. Let's see how he goes peeling the egg.
Oh no, the trick to peeling an egg. I'll give you one.
Haslina's going to go and get. Yeah, Haslina's going to get Norman's calendar.
It's a good calendar. He poses well.
Yeah. Sandy. Okay, there you go. That's the link. normanmusa.com and order yours there, guys. And it's very cheap. Norman always sells everything really cheap. I'm
I was going to say, grab it now before we convince him to sell it more expensive.
Yeah, that's right. There you go, guys. That's the website to order to actually buy Norman's calendar, and you can do it right away and enjoy it right away. You don't have to wait for it to be shipped out. And those eggs are peeled beautifully, Paul.
You make it. Oh, thank you. I was going to say, you can enjoy it right away. You make it sound like you're going to get one of those and just sit and look at all the pictures of Norman in it.
Yeah. Norman has his female fan base.
Fan club. The Norman Musa fan.
Oh, Raw Chef Yin has a raw vegan mee rebus. I think I use sweet potato too. Need to double check. Oh, that would be interesting. For those of you who are into vegan, raw vegan, not just vegan, raw vegan. That's like next level vegan, guys. Go and follow Raw Chef Yin. Okay, it's very, very creative with the recipes.
If I was rich enough, I would definitely try some of the recipes here, but I don't have the money for like thermomixes and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, you have to wait till you come to Sydney. Haslina says, I learned my mee bandung recipe in the US from my colleague's wife. Whose mee bandung is famous in Muar. Nice. Muar is actually famous for mee bandung. It uses beef bone stock, dried shrimp as base, and seafood as proteins. Okay, Oh, there you go, Paul. You're nearly there. You're virtually like the muan mi bandung, except you're missing the seafood in the noodles. Beef bone stock. Does it have beef meat in the noodles as well, or do you only use the stock? That sounds delicious.
You know what I would have liked to have done for this is, rather than using like water into the beef, is I would have preferred to have used bone broth.
Yeah. You know why Norman does it that way? Because he's in the Netherlands, and like the Netherlands, like it's very hard to get bone broth and all that sort of stuff. You see, so he's catering to his deprived Europeans who can really only Should have thought of that. That's a good point. Because Paul, guys, is a pseudo keto person. He's a keto person who's fallen off the keto wagon. But he knows all about bone broth. He used to have bone broth like cooking away every day. Yeah. But definitely bone broth would be even more flavorsome, I think. Nadia says, I use boiled carrot puree to thicken my mi bandung. Oh, that's a good idea. Boiled carrot puree. There you go, guys. So in lieu of mashed sweet potato, use mashed carrot.
But I think I'm going to use all of
and egg cooked in the shrimp broth. Nice. Okay, Hasina. This is so cool. We should actually have like a challenge. Everyone like post your favorite mi bandung recipe and taste and compare notes. Raw Chef Yin goes, Paul, do you have a basic food processor and blender? That will do. Actually, lots of raw vegan recipes just require a chopping board and knife, but I like to be more creative and innovative, hence my kitchen toys. There you go.
Okay.
So you don't have any excuse now, Paul. Now you have to quickly think of another excuse not to go raw vegan.
I'll make one, but I'm going to need some recipe.
Nina saying mi rebus is also mi java. Isn't this? I know, right? Isn't it crazy? Mi java, yeah. And I've had mi java, actually. I had mi java over in Penang, and that was so different to the mi java I know. But the Penang mi java I ate at had nothing in it apart for what tasted like tomato sauce in the sauce, and I have to admit, did not really enjoy that. Rochevian says, I love how you call Paul a pseudo keto. Yeah, I know.
I was keto until somebody came along with delicious Malaysian food.
That's my fault that he's fallen off the wagon. But isn't your life so much richer since you met me, Paul? Exactly.
Yes.
The sacrifices he makes.
That's a tough love.
Yeah, exactly.
To be honest, I'd rather have CKT in my life than keto in my life.
Thank you. There you go.
Yeah, well, Jackie's CKT recipe. Although Penang CKT has its good points.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I won't totally hate on it. Yeah. Malaysian, it's going to be good.
Of course.
Okay. Yeah. While that does its last little boil, I was going to say, that is how an egg should be cooked.
Oh, yeah. No, nice. Perfect eggs.
Yeah, not this hard, bounced against the wall.
You had salt in the broth, right? Did you add salt anywhere else? Okay. I'm keen to know how it tastes.
Yeah, I will let you know as soon as it's ready.
Yeah. I wouldn't boil it too longer. I think you could probably turn it off because the vegetables should just take seconds to cook.
Yeah, I'm just following Norman's 2 minutes.
Okay. No. I do that with my recipes. I'll just say, I'll boil something for 10 minutes. And then 2 years later, I'll scan through my blog and say, what was I thinking? That would just turns that into mush. Rose thinks that looks delicious, and Nina says nice eggs. Yay!
Thank you. Yeah, that's one thing I've really like prided
And
myself on.
Nadia says, "Well, I love the eggs too." Yeah. What you say,
Thanks,
Paul?
guys. I was gonna say that's one. I can't think of the right phrase, but that's one thing I've prided myself on. Pride myself. What is the word I'm looking for? Prided. Prided just sounds wrong. Is since we've been doing Malaysian, particularly dishes that you serve with a boiled egg, is to get the egg boiled. Because you don't want this like thing that's all crumbly looking, and only like yeah, I don't know. The thing is, like boiled eggs are made to be that nice little, just that soft yolk.
Okay.
I can understand if you're running like a store, like if you're a hawker or something, getting a whole bunch of eggs like that is tricky.
Sure. Yeah. Now, Hamima says there are variants of mee rebus and mee bandung, which originate from Muar. Yes, mee bandung is famous in Muar. To me, mee bandung is yellow noodles and poached egg in a thick, savory gravy with a hint of spice and additional ingredients like meat, prawns, fish cakes, and vegetables. There you go. So next time you need some seafood added to it, and voila. But yeah, we should definitely visit Muar in Johor.
Where is Muar?
It's in the southernmost state of Malaysia, just like if you think of Singapore, the next state up once you cross the bridge is Johor, and Muar is in Johor.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. Hastina says, yummy, send me and Jackie a bowl each, Paul.
I'll send you guys 2 bowls.
Okay, Mala says, can you use Hokkien noodles? Looks good, Paul. I certainly would, Mala. I think, like I said, Norman's recipe was geared towards a Dutch audience. That's why he had like dried noodles in the recipe, and also why he had like just simmering the fillets, the steak. Sebastian said, I noticed that too, Paul. You did not taste your creation yet. What's going on?
Hold on. Hold your horses, guys. Trying to get this camera working.
Hamima says, when we use sweet potatoes and santan, then it is mee rebus. How interesting. See, the mee rebus I know actually has sweet potato, but I don't remember tasting any santan in it. Isn't that interesting? I'd love to try mee rebus with santan. Santan is coconut milk, for those who don't know. Somebody from Langkawi says, wow, very nice mee bandung, wanginya hingga ke Langkawi. Somebody said you can smell it from all the way in Langkawi.
What language was that? Is that Cantonese? Or is it Malay? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the words at the end you said made it sound like sort of Cantonese.
Wanginya hingga ke Langkawi. And Cantonese will be hổ食, hổ香啊，好食啊。
What can I say? It's a simple language.
Yeah. Oh, that looks very pretty, Paul. Okay.
I'll post the picture, Nana. I just took it.
Okay. Did you taste it?
I'm about to.
Okay. I would have tasted it for saltiness because I'm very particular about like
saltiness.
I have a strong palate. Yeah.
Let me just turn the camera around.
Wangi aroma, yeah. And Sebastian, I always thought mee rebus is a variation of Indian rojak. See, the thing is, Indian rojak to me, like the rojak sauce is sweet, but the mee rebus sauce is savory. That's how I always like. Yeah, that's how like I had it from the mamak over in Seremban. The rojak is also made with mashed sweet potato, but the sauce is noticeably sweet, whereas the mee rebus sauce is completely savory.
Okay, there we go. In terms of mamaks, like what is their sort of history, their story?
Because the mamaks are Indian Muslim from, I believe, Pakistan, that part of the subcontinent, who migrated to Malaysia.
How come they are particularly like street vendors and stuff. What's the story there?
All of them are. Our
No, I'm saying the ones that
longest-serving
are
prime
street vendors.
minister was a doctor, Mahathir Mohamad.
Okay.
He comes from his grandfather was a mama.
Okay.
And his dad was a school principal, and he was a doctor before he became a politician. Facebook user says, thank you, Paul. Looks yummy. Sadap. Sadap means yummy. Annie Thompson, wow, that's beautiful, Paul. Yeah, it does look good. It didn't take as long as we thought, actually. The mamak mie rebus used mashed white potatoes, had tomato sauce in it. That is interesting. Nina says the mamak mie rebus used mashed white potatoes and has tomato sauce. Ah, interesting, right? There's so many different versions. Nadia,
that's pretty good.
Mama Indian Muslim, yes. Mala, mum makes her mie rebus with thin second coconut milk. Ah, interesting.
That could be cool.
Yeah, okay. I bet you can actually fill a cookbook with just like variations of these dishes,
Maybe that's what I should do. Every week, just cook my own.
Yeah.
Until I have a cookbook.
Yeah. So you still haven't tasted it?
Yeah, I was busy eating it.
Okay, how was it?
Yeah, it's very good. And the heat is just right.
Okay.
Because
you put a fair bit of chili in it. Cool. Does your dad take chili?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically as much as I dig it.
Cool. Rose Richard. Oh, Tun Mahathir's ancestors in Kerala, South India. Oh, right. Okay, cool. Kerala in South India. I did not know that.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, if you're Indian right now, you must be happy because they just beat Australia. So, anyways, moving on, Jack.
Very funny. No comment.
But Australia won the series. I was going to say,
how did South Africa do that, Paul? How did South Africa do last night?
No, I don't think we were playing.
I'm pretty sure we were.
Lost 3-0. Lost 3-0. At England, of everyone. No offense if anyone's from England, but you don't want to lose to England.
Nobody wants to lose to England.
That's why I always bring up the 2019 Rugby World Cup final.
So can you hold up the noodles for us again?
One last second. I'm just creating another plate or bowl.
Okay, cool.
I just want to look all fancy.
Guys, if you have pictures of your noodles or mie Bandung, make sure you post it on Facebook and tag us, okay? We'd love to see it, even if it's your version, because I'm very, very fascinated with all these different versions now. Rose says, I'm salivating now at night in Sydney. Supposed to be sleeping now. Yeah, you and me both.
Ain't that the truth? Chilies.
That's the worst thing about hosting these live streams late at night for me here in Sydney. Some of the live streams start at midnight here in Sydney, and I'm like watching all this beautiful food, and then I'm like going hungry.
Okay. No, you won't be able to see like that.
No. Annie says, thank you, Jackie and Paul, for hosting and cooking. Isn't that beautiful, right?
There it is.
If you guys have been following Paul since day one with his cooking, his presentation was like, shall we say, a little bit like lacking in the past. Yeah, I think it's the influence of Liam being shamed by Liam. Yeah. I think Nora Harun also has a link to Kerala. Yes, she does. Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say there was. Oh, that's what you know. What I was gonna say earlier.
What?
Something to do with Singapore, because I was watching Uncle Roger's episode.
Please tell me he was making fun of Singapore.
No, he was working at this restaurant that makes nasi lemak and Hainanese chicken.
Okay.
And the lady that runs it's Singaporean. And Uncle Roger walks in, he's like, Malaysian cuisine, way better. I was like, you're going to have to work with it the whole day.
Haslina says, look at that bowl of yumminess. I know, right? Yeah. Be interesting. He's taking photos now. Okay. Guys, yeah, like I said, next Monday is our Queen series. So make sure you tune in for that. And we've changed the time a little bit. It's going to be on at 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. Kuala Lumpur. Okay. So we've moved the second session a little bit early to, frankly speaking, to accommodate our Australian viewers, okay, because our series are supported by Tourism Malaysia, in particular Tourism Malaysia Australia. So make sure you guys catch that, and we have some great hosts. Our chefs, our MOMC chefs, are going to be cooking in this series, as opposed to the series that we just wrapped up, where our guests did the cooking. This time around, we're going to be doing the cooking, and we have some of our former guests come back. Tanis, Brunei's #1, the king of blogging, is going to be co-hosting, and also Marco D. If you guys know Marco D from YouTube, as a YouTube star, TV host, he's going to be co-hosting. We've got Lara Lee over in I think the UK, and she is a celebrity chef and cookbook author. She's going to be co-hosting. We have Jet Lag Warriors. If you guys have been watching a lot,
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, Jet Lag Warriors are this couple who are actually stuck in Malaysia at the moment. They've been traveling around and filming all these beautiful Malaysian travel videos. So we've got them. They're going to be co-hosting one of the sessions. And who else have we got? We have a ton of great people.
Lisa. We got Lisa.
Yeah, Lisa.
Did you mention Lisa? Yeah.
Is Lisa co-hosting? I'm not sure. We have Francis Cook, who's going to be co-hosting. Lisa is back. No, Lisa is going to be
for
MATJHN. Yeah. Lisa is going to be back for MATJHN. Okay. And don't forget, guys, to purchase your version of Chef Norman Musa 2021 calendar. All right, with beautiful recipes, and if you like Norman, with cute photos of Norman. I struggle to say this. He knows I make fun of him.
Hey, who doesn't like cute photos of Chef Norman?
Yeah, who doesn't like cute photos of Chef Norman? All right. And this is the link again, guys. You go to normanmusa.com to purchase and download your 2021 calendar right away. Okay. He's worked very hard with that, so make sure you check it out. All right, guys. Let's have a look. Hai, mi Bandung ada, di Malaysia aja, di Bandung tak ada. Ya, betul. I rasa di Bandung tak ada sebab ni bukan dari Indonesia, ni dari Malaysia, ya. Can't find that calendar. Haslina can't find that calendar. Sandy, what's going on? Paul, you're killing me now. Haslina, head over to Chef Norman Musa Facebook page. I definitely saw it there. If you go to Chef Norman Musa, Malaysian Chef Norman Musa Facebook page, you will see it there. Okay, wrong website, you dog. normanmusa.com. All right, guys, go and download your recipe your recipe calendar now. Okay, thanks again so much, guys, for tuning in, and make sure you keep your eye out for your email with your new login details to take you to our new membership site. Any problems? Talk to Paul, all right? He's the guy who set it all up.
Talk to info@foodfame.com.au.
All right. Thanks again. Thanks, Paul, for doing this. And we'll bump out as usual with Tourism Malaysia. Have a great night, guys. Ciao.
Bye.
Hey, now, you gotta see the beat. We're ready to go. We're ready to go.